You've got ideas, you've got ambition, you've got no time, or so you think. I'm Marissa Lonick, and I help busy moms with big dreams and no time. Join me each week as I dive into time management strategies, goal setting and achieving framework, and inspiring guests who are juggling mom life, work life, fill in the blank life. Dreams don't work unless you do, and just because you're a mom doesn't mean you can't still make it happen, whatever it means to you. Welcome to the Mama Work It podcast. Hey, mamas. Welcome back to another awesome episode of the Mama Work It podcast. I feel like deja vu. I recorded this episode yesterday. True story. Recorded this episode yesterday. Realized shortly after my mic was not synced up properly. And so the sound quality was kind of sucky on it. And I was like, oh, what do I do? Do I record it again? Do I leave it? And I thought about it. I even polled my IG peeps about it. And most of you did say like, oh, just leave it. Done is better than perfect. But the few people that answered re-record it, it's only half an hour, are people whose opinion I value so much that I was like, screw it, we're going to do it again. So here we are, round two. Hopefully it is way better than the first one, the one that you will not be hearing. But on today's episode, well, before I get into today's episode, hello, if you are new in town, my name is Marissa Lonick. I am the host, the founder of Mama Work It, where we support women in the juggle of mom life, work life, wife life, fill in the blank life. We're talking about mom guilt today. We've talked about it before. It's not a topic I love, but it is a topic that I feel is necessary to talk about, because I think that no matter how much we discuss, how much we hear about it, how much we know it's not good for us, we still feel it. Like we're still haunted by it. And so what I thought about today was, why don't we talk about let's just unwrap the truth behind mom guilt. Because I really believe the path to healing, the road to recovery, it starts with understanding the issue at hand. And I'm a big fan of self-awareness. You've heard me say it before. I always say it's like the secret ingredient to success, like exactly what you need to go far in life. It helps you communicate better. It helps you excel in business, at work. It helps you make better decisions. And I think it helps you feel less misaligned. And when I think about feeling misaligned, I think of feeling off, feeling out of sorts, feeling unhappy, unfulfilled. And those things often go hand in hand with guilt in some way, shape, or form. At least they have for me. So when we feel guilty, it's usually because we feel like we're not enough. So maybe we're not honoring the fact that our strengths lie in perhaps different areas of our lives. It can feel like we're not managing our time and priorities effectively to match our values. So we're spending more time than we'd like doing things we don't want to do, and then not enough time doing things that we actually do want to be doing, and letting too much of the outside influencers or noise surrounding us dictate our decisions versus leading with our own intuition, our own mind, our own body, our own spirit, our own conscious, subconscious, and most importantly, those core values to live life each day. So I think the more you can understand yourself, basically, the less guilt you are going to feel. Because if you can get ahead of it, you can recognize it for what it is, and you can stand more confidently in how you're handling things day in and day out. So I know I started this with like a real big picture here, but let's get down to some nitty gritty. Let's exemplify this with some really good ways to see how mom guilt might potentially be showing up for us, how we can navigate those situations. And I'm going to kick this off with like a real quick story. I'm going to try to make it quick. I know these episodes are 30-ish minutes, so I'm squeezing a lot in as I normally do. But let me tell you the story about what recently happened to me. So it was my son's pre-K graduation ceremony the other day. Now, on a regular day, I drop him off at 8:30. I pick him up at 2:30. And by the time I get home and I have to leave again, I'm lucky if I get like a solid 5-hour workday in. And listen, I am totally okay with that. Okay. Like I have designed my work and my life around this. I love that I get to make that decision and create that schedule for myself. But back to this story, graduation ceremony on this day, it was scheduled at 10 a.m. So didn't make a lot of sense for me to go home for a short period of time just to turn around and drive back. So what did I do? I brought my laptop and I decided to stop by a local cafe, grab a latte, squeeze in some productivity work before attending this like adorable, super cute event. So of course, I go to this cafe. I run into a bunch of pre-K parents who also had this great idea of grabbing a coffee before the ceremony. And I just love the fact that I was bumping into people I knew at the cafe. I have only lived in this town like less than a year. So I feel like I'm really getting to know my community. Totally a good feeling for sure. And then I started getting the same question from multiple parents as we're chit-chatting. And that question was something along the lines of, are you leaving with your son after the ceremony? Like, are you pulling him out of school? And honestly, I was kind of confused. Like I thought I missed an email about school ending after the graduation. I was questioning my organizational skills of like, did I not plan this week according to the school schedule? But no, everyone kind of agreed that no, school was still on after graduation. It was just like this opportunity to continue the celebration afterwards. Maybe take your kiddo out to lunch, maybe go get him a gift or flowers or balloon and like party hard at 11 a.m. Listen, absolutely no judgment for parents who did this. It was very sweet. I personally was not about to take my kid out of school 3.5 hours early to celebrate pre-K graduation. We get plenty of one-on-one time, more time than I get with my other kids for sure, because he's the youngest. So I have like, more time with him often with our drop off and pickup schedule and things like that. But I also had so much work to do before summer officially was going to get started in our house. And I needed like every minute of that prime daytime work hour schedule before I had to like sit my kid in front of a screen in order to do what I needed to do. But even knowing how this like was not an option for me, it's not something I had considered, even feeling pretty secure in my own values linked to my family, linked to financial stability, even recognizing my own character, my own behavioral qualities, I still felt this twinge of mom guilt. So much so that I stopped at the bakery on my way home and I picked up this congratulatory cake so that we could celebrate that night as a family. And that wasn't necessarily something I intended on doing. I don't know why. I mean, maybe it's because it's pre-K. Maybe it's because he's our fourth kid. Like, of course, I think it's a big deal. I took all the videos. I took all the pictures. I hugged him. I high-fived him. I said congratulations a bunch. But like what happened and what got me even just a little bit was when I started comparing myself to everyone else. And the best part about this whole thing is because I knew why this trigger was showing up, I was able to turn the guilt around and rest back on my own self-awareness that, you know what? I'm still a damn good mom. I care a lot. I've created this beautiful work-life balance that I used to only dream about. And I don't need to take my kid to Chick-fil-A on a Monday afternoon to prove it to myself or to anyone else. So what are some other ways mom guilt can tend to creep in? How can we better understand it? I'm going to share a bunch of examples on today's episode. I know I've experienced a lot of these. I know friends who have experienced a lot of these, and I want to uncover some of them in more depth and more detail so we can really get behind the truth of mom guilt, better understand it so that we can get ahead of it. All right, we're starting right from the get-go. We're starting with breastfeeding. All right. And maybe you felt guilt if you didn't breastfeed or couldn't breastfeed. Now, no matter what propaganda the hospitals are saying with the fed is best slogan, there is this underlying pressure, I think, when it comes to breastfeeding when you give birth. Because I believe that slogan used to be breast is best, not fed is best prior. And I think that subconsciously lives in us. I think that is like a little bit ingrained in our brains. Now, I also think most moms want the best for their babies. I'd even venture to guess that all moms want the best for their babies. But in today's world, where moms are not being doted on after giving birth most of the time, where villages are smaller, if they exist at all, where demands are high, where maternity leave may be super short or may even be non-existent, where lots of other interferences and priorities are right there alongside this new life that you may be entirely responsible for, breastfeeding can feel so overwhelming. And the guilt associated with not doing it, that can feel equally encompassing. So to me, this can be a recipe for like a postpartum mental health nightmare. And I can't even tell you like the guilt that I felt with my first babies when this did not work out the way I had wanted it to. And then when it also didn't happen for my third baby, and I guilted myself into exclusively pumping for months. And the last time around, I honestly believe guilt was like a motivator for me in making me quote unquote successful, because maybe this is TMI, but I'm sharing it anyway. But like when your nipples are raw and bleeding and you continue to give this task everything you have, you can feel a little insane for pushing yourself to such limits. Each time I stopped breastfeeding or trying to breastfeed, I will tell you, I felt like a failure and guilt really enveloped me. Like even the final time when I was in my mind a breastfeeding success story, like there was some guilt in the weaning process. And why? Why is that? I think a number of things come up for this particular example. Firstly, it doesn't go the way we planned it. And so we take this ownership, we take this responsibility for that because it's our body, it's our plan, it's our baby. So that was something I know I experienced. Second, we let the noise in. We don't lean into our own values. So what's more valuable to us? Is it more valuable to feed our baby breast milk, or is it more valuable to be a happier mom in that case? Is it more valuable to pump during the hours our baby is awake, or is it more valuable to play during those windows? Is it more valuable to perfect the latch, or is it more valuable to have, bottles that are all clean and sanitized and drying on the rack? I don't know. And there's really no right or wrong answer to this. It really is just what's valuable and what's important to you. And so much guilt, I think, that even just hits us from the get-go when we are deciding on breastfeeding or not, or when we are doing our best to make a decision one way or the other. The next one I want to tap into is about childcare. Oh, the guilt associated with like a daycare drop off or leaving the nanny with the kids or whatever it is, whatever childcare you may or may not be using. There's so much guilt that is often felt by working moms all over the world when it comes to this. And yet again, why? Why is that? Is it the lack of time that we're spending with our kids? Is it the uneasiness in the quality of care they're receiving? Is it not feeling aligned or content or happy with the work you're doing or the people you work with? Is it someone's snarky remark about someone else raising your kids? I know I've heard that one. I want to share with you some research that I found as I was prepping this episode. 50 years ago, about 47% of moms with children under 18 worked. Now, in 2025, that number is approximately 73%. So yeah, more moms are tapping into childcare. And moms are also now the primary earners in about 40% of households. So they are more likely to be employed full-time versus part-time compared with 50 years ago. Childcare is a necessity. And while guilt can still be present there, we need to recognize the fact that without childcare, without utilizing this, we wouldn't be able to fulfill our financial, our career, our personal goals most of the time. So listen, if taking a career break makes sense for you because using childcare doesn't align with your values, go for it. If that's not an option for you and you feel like you're stuck here, I want to remind you of something really, really important. And that is, and don't hate on me for this. Don't come at me for this, but you always have a choice. You always have a choice. And listen, I've been there with you. I get it. But I want to break this down to like the most granular, simple level for you. You have a choice to work and live in a house and pay a mortgage and buy the things you buy. You have a choice to choose one type of childcare versus another. You have a choice to work for the company that you work for with the demands and the schedule they have, or to go elsewhere. And I know you might be listening and feeling like, listen, you don't know me. It's not that easy. Again, I get it. I see you. I was you. I was the higher earner for years. I held the benefits. I felt that responsibility alongside that immense guilt. And after a lot of self-reflection, a lot of self-discovery, a lot of self-growth, I realized it was in the end a choice. And I could make that choice. Was it an easy choice? No, it was one of the hardest choices I have ever made, to leave a stable 6-figure corporate career that was a big part of my identity and step into a really scary entrepreneurial place in business. But it is still a choice I've never regretted. Did I still tap into childcare? I absolutely did. But I also had more autonomy as to how often I needed to use childcare, how many hours I worked, and all that goes along with that. So if this childcare guilt is something that you are struggling with, if it is tugging at your mom guilt, I want you to really look within and unpack this. Like, what is it that's triggering this for you? Is it a career shift that you need to make? Is it a break you need to take? Is this a childcare shift? Even just in what type of childcare you're utilizing? Is it even just about the way you're intentionally using your time during non-childcare hours so that you feel like the quality surpasses any amount of quantity that you could ever give to your kids? So there's, again, no right or wrong decision. It's about what feels right to you, what feels like it makes sense for you and your family. Next thing I want to talk about when it comes to the truth behind mom guilt has to do with finances. So financial constraints. I know a lot of moms, especially stay-at-home moms, they can feel this financial guilt for not being able to provide more for their kids because maybe they don't bring home an income or their income isn't significant enough. And I get it. Let's unpack it. First things first. Comparisonitis. It is everywhere. It is at school. It is at the park. It is on social media. It can affect you all the time. Like, you don't even have to leave your house to feel it. You can't even kind of hibernate away from this because all you have to do is pick up your phone and scroll and like, boom, there it is. And the financial one, it's a big one for me too, because even if I am bringing home an income, as someone who is like a high achiever, I will often be like, oh, it's not enough, or I need to do more. And I think also comparisonitis, does get me sometimes too. So maybe this is because I also have 4 kids and I have expensive taste and that shit adds up. Like whatever it is, the guilt associated with this is a really interesting one. Because what do you do? What do you do? Do you just say, screw it and buy the thing you want because damn, you deserve it? Or do you just charge it and go into a ton of debt and it gives you this like initial dopamine hit, but then later makes you feel so crappy? Or do you deprive yourself all the time and just feel guilty that you're not more successful or more carefree when it comes to loving life and living life and spending money? I feel like the guilt here can get you in so many directions. It can come with buyer's remorse. It can come with preventing you from enjoying life. It's so tricky. And one thing that has been super helpful with this for me personally in the past is having a really clear budget. So instead of feeling like I was constantly fighting with myself on whether or not I should purchase something or whether or not I needed to get the kids this or that or say no, the budget was able to be the North Star for everything. And having a category for fun or having a category for me, for yourself, can even just give you the permission you need to spend a reasonable and sustainable amount of money guilt-free, especially when we're feeling deprived in other areas of life, like sleep deprived, time deprived, self-care deprived. I think buying something in those situations can often feel like I deserve this, right? Or vice versa, we get into this internal battle of feeling unworthy because we didn't actually earn the money or we don't deserve it. Really, neither way is healthy because neither one is solving the root cause. If we're deprived in something, let's fill the depletion with what we need specifically in that case. If we're feeling unworthy, let's work on healing it. Taking action, whether it be therapy, whether it be the budget and organization, whether it be with rest, whatever it is that can help us feel less guilty and more capable of spending our finances, our time, our energy more effectively. All right, next thing I want to touch on here, next example, I have lovingly called it store-bought versus homemade. Okay, store-bought versus homemade. So I'm thinking bake sales, I'm thinking birthdays, I'm thinking like whenever a sweet treat is needed. Now, I'm going to be totally honest with you. And if you followed me for a while, you know, I personally like to bake. Like it's kind of a hobby for me. I enjoy it. So this one doesn't get to me quite as much. But if I didn't like baking, I would not beat myself up over this. Okay. I always think about this one movie whenever I think about this example. Now, I'm going to date myself a little bit. It's from the year 2011, and it stars Sarah Jessica Parker. It's called I Don't Know How She Does It. If you haven't seen it and you're a working mom, definitely watch this movie. So she is a corporate working mom in this movie. She travels a ton. And one night she's getting home kind of late from a business trip, and it's the night before like a school bake sale. So what does she do? She stops at like the corner store. It's the only thing open. And she buys this pie. And when she gets home, she proceeds to like mess it up a little to look like she made it. And the premise of the whole movie is like she works too much. And in the end, she chooses family over work. And it's great. It's such a feel-good, cute movie. It's funny. But I think other lessons we need to learn from this movie are, number one, we don't need to feel guilty for not prioritizing a skill set we don't have or that we don't enjoy or that we simply just had to prioritize other things, and that's okay. The other thing is we need to set more boundaries around the fact that balance that feels right to us is all that matters. Okay, we can't say yes to everything. And lastly, I love this lesson, is if you have mean girl mom friends, you need to get new ones. Like if someone is going to shit talk you for bringing a pie from the mini mart to the bake sale, they're probably not the kind of people you want in your inner circle. So that is my 2 cents on store-bought versus homemade. But I want to kind of expand upon that a little bit, because even if it's not a baked item, you don't have to feel guilty about not doing everything 150%. Okay? Whether this be like snack duty, whether this be the birthday parties, whether this be the volunteering, whatever it is. I'm going to think about the snack duty for a minute. All our kids play sports, and if your kids are on a team sport, maybe you have the tradition, the thing that happens in your league where you are on your team, where you are responsible for 1 week, one game where you bring a snack for all the kids on the team, right? It's super fun. Kids look forward to this so much. And there's always a parent on the team. And listen, I look up to you. I think what you're doing is magical and great. Okay. But there's always this one parent who will like do 150% for the snacks, right? They'll like decorate the bags. They'll put all the organic granola bars and juices and best like theme stuff and all this great stuff. Maybe even a little toy in there for the younger kids. It's awesome. Okay. But if that's not you, if that's not something that you can do, want to do, there's absolutely no need to feel guilty about that. Snacks are snacks and kids love them no matter what. If your birthday parties are not total home runs, all themed out, that's okay. If coordinating outfits are not your thing for holiday card photos or, matching swimsuits on beach vacations, that's okay. You don't have to do everything. You don't even have to do any of those things 150% if they're not your thing. And we need to let go of the guilt that comes from that. So, friends, that's a little bit more of an understanding, in my opinion, behind this whole mom guilt thing and some ways to kind of handle it. I'm also going to drop a couple book recommendations that I think are super valuable when it comes to self-awareness, as well as some great self-awareness assessments to help you better understand who you are. And of course, I am always a big fan of working with a coach, as I think they will help you uncover so much of what you may be missing about who you are, what blocks you're facing, your strengths, and how to move past anything getting in your way. So that is our episode on the truth behind understanding mom guilt. I will see you soon, Mama. Don't let that guilt get in the way. But in the meantime, keep on working it. Bye. You've been listening to the Mama Work It podcast. I hope you've enjoyed this episode and would love if you could take a quick minute to leave me a review on whichever platform you're listening from, and maybe even send a note to a fellow mama friend recommending it. Reviews and recs help this podcast grow and reach more like-minded, awesome moms. And if you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click that button so we can stay in touch, girl. By the way, if you haven't checked out the Mama Work It website, please do. There are lots of free resources and great articles there that can help you with the juggle of work life, mom life, wife life, fill in the blank life. So head on over. Thanks again for being part of the tribe. I'll see you soon, but in the meantime, keep on working it, Mama.